180!
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here at Chester Races. We've got Luke Humphries. Luke, nice local exhibition for you for a change to come and do.
Yeah, this is obviously very local for me, so obviously really nice when I got put on this one. It's obviously a challenging aspect when you're going all around the UK and stuff doing them, but really nice to have one quite close to me. I can go home as well afterwards.
Yeah, look, a few exhibitions after the Premier League, just ticking you over, and look, good opposition as well. So it's not. I know it's an exhibition, but it's more than that because you've got to play your best.
Yeah, of course. When you're in exhibitions like this, you really want to play in them, and you've got Michael, Phil, Barney and Bunting here, 5 great players in the sport. So yeah, you want to be a part of these, and they're great practice for yourself. And yeah, I'm always one of them players. I like to keep myself ticking over. I don't really like having a week off because I feel like it takes me out my rhythm. So I'm always one of them busy people that plays a lot.
First time we've spoken to you since Glasgow. First of all, how's the finger?
Yeah, it's not falling off, but nah. Do you know what? It wasn't hurting or anything. I didn't really damage it. It was bleeding so much that I couldn't stop it, and I was just trying to stop the bleeding. That was it. I wasn't in pain or hurt or injured or anything. It just cut it on the wire of the board, and just wouldn't stop bleeding. I couldn't do nothing about it, and that's what you see on the stage. I'm just trying to dab it and stop it, and yeah, because obviously when your finger's bleeding here, and obviously I throw my dart there, it was just slipping across it every time, and obviously really annoying. But it's one of them things that's not really happened very often. So
Was it when you took darts out your board? Did you catch it on the wire or something like that?
I did it after I beat Gezi. We went for the ball, and then I was just throwing them, and I must have been stuck out a little bit. I just obviously took the darts out normally, and it just caught it, and it just started bleeding quite bad. So yeah, it's annoying, but I suppose, like I say, there's nothing you can do if these rare things happen.
Look, Glasgow, it's been full of the news ever since. Obviously, your final. We spoke to Luke obviously after he won it, and he said, look, for both of you, it was like it made no sense because they were booing and whistling. Both of you. It wasn't as if they were doing it for one. It was both. Was it a weird game to play in because of that factor?
Yeah, I mean, for the fact of it, it felt like they didn't want any of us to win, and then obviously there was a couple of times I had to stop a bit more to try and wipe away the blood that was stopping my finger, and then I was getting it worse then because I think the fans thought I was stopping on purpose because of the whistling and that, but it wasn't nothing to do with them. It was more to do with myself, and then at the end I think I got it a lot worse. And usually it's not the whole crowd; it's usually one person. I think there was one person up in the right corner that was constantly whistling every throw, like for me and Luke. And I just think sometimes it's a shame because you don't just ruin it for some of the fans in the arena. You ruin it for the people at home watching. But for me, it can be annoying, but you get over it after a while. And hopefully, over the next few weeks or months, that the crowds just want to be there to enjoy some great darts.
It was interesting because obviously Kirk asked them to be quiet, and they got worse when the referee does that. So that kind of puts obviously you guys and the referee in a no-win situation because if you don't say anything, you get slaughtered on social media, and when you do say something, it then makes them worse. So the referees in this situation are almost in a no-win situation. Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't have blamed Kirk if he didn't say anything, and I wouldn't blame him for saying something. He's only doing his job, and it has worked before. I think when I played Luke in the Players' Championship finals, there was a guy whistling then, and Hugh told him to stop, and they did stop. Yeah. So it can work sometimes, but when you're in a boisterous environment like the Premier League crowds, if you tell them to do something, then they're going to do it. So tell them not to do something, they're going to do it. So yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. I don't really know how you can stop it and stuff. And for me, it's not something I'm going to worry about too much. I'm there to entertain, and I'm going to enjoy myself regardless. So yeah, it's just unfortunate that the minority of people they upset the rest of enjoying the night.
You must be delighted with the start to 2025, a Masters title, a Premier League win, another final. Couldn't have gone much better, could it?
Yeah, I'm much more pleased with the fact that over the 2 years before, I really didn't start off very well. In 2023, it wasn't a great start for myself, and then I got into the season better. 2024, it really was a poor start after being world champion, whereas this year, maybe the pressure's off me a little bit more because you're not world champion. You want to impress at the start, so I do feel like that pressure's been slightly taken off me by not being world champion, and I do feel like this year I've been able to start better. I'm hoping that I can continue that throughout the whole of the year, and maybe even have a better year than the previous two before.
Having done a year in the Premier League, because people forget last year was your Premier League debut, is it easier because you know what to expect now from that road show?
Yeah, I think the first season you do in the Premier League, you're obviously a little bit apprehensive, a bit nervous because obviously you want to impress. Obviously, I've been world champion, so I didn't want to not make the top four. So yeah, I think I was under a lot more pressure. This year, of course, yeah, I'm still the world number one, so of course I'm always going to be under pressure, but I do feel a little bit more relaxed this season. You've done one, you know what to expect, you know how to handle it, so I feel a lot more confident and a lot more relaxed about it this year, to be fair.
The Premier League itself, the nightly win, so to speak, we've been speaking to a lot of players about this. Are nightly wins important to you, or is it more important that you make the O2 and just get points than winning a night? Where does the balance sit for you?
Well, the most important thing for me is winning the first game. That's a massive 2 points. I think if you win every first game, you get 32 points. You almost top the league with that. So of course you're probably not going to win all 16, but that's how important that first game is. So yeah, for me, it's not always about winning nightly wins. It's about winning that first game. And obviously, when you win the first, then you relax, and obviously you can find yourself maybe winning another or winning the night. So yeah, nightly wins are important. But for me, being in the top four is really what matters, because all then that can happen is you have one great night and then you're Premier League champion. So yeah, if you finish first in the league table, doesn't mean you're going to win the Premier League, and that's why I don't think the players care as much. But of course, winning it would obviously be a nice added bonus.
UK Open on the horizon, tournament ever so close to last year, but I remember talking to you in the build-up to the World Championships. You said it's all about now winning titles that I haven't won yet, so I'm guessing Minehead in the coming weeks is very high on the agenda.
Yeah, obviously got the Windmill World Masters one straight away, which was nice. Obviously a new added major tournament, so ranked one. UK Open, the European Championships left, and I was kind of gutted that I didn't win it last year, because if I would have, then there'd have been just one left. And obviously the last 3 times I've been at Minehead, I've made the final, won 2 of them. So another great record for myself, and good feeling going into the UK Open. It's always a tricky one, because you can either get some really, really tough draws, or you can get a favourable draw. So yeah, I don't know what I prefer, but you can be quite unlucky with them. I think in 2023, or I think it was, I had Michael van Gerwen and Michael Smith my first 2 draws, so it can be tough. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do really enjoy the UK Open.
What's interesting, as a player, how do you approach the UK Open? Because every other tournament, you know who you've got, who you could face going through the draw, and then you've got a rough idea when you're going to be on as well, scheduling. Where this, one, you don't know who you're going to get, and 2, you don't know the schedule till very late. So take Friday, for instance. We know that you're not going to play till the evening. How do you get ready? Because you could be on at 7, or you could be on at 10, and you're probably not going to know that until 5 o'clock. How do you approach that?
Yeah, I think you sort of know you're going to be 2nd, 3rd or 4th game. Usually the world champ, the world number 1 and Michael are usually around the 2nd, 3rd and 4th game. So you kind of know when you're going to play. You just don't know who you're going to play. So yeah, it's hard to plan for who you're going to be playing against. But that's the fun of the tournament. I don't think it can sit there and say, oh, it's hard to prepare for, it bothers you, because I was made the final there twice. So yeah, I just think it's a crazy fun tournament. And I know you're probably going to be on the main stage, but it's always nice playing on the outside boards, because I think it's a great atmosphere and good fun as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it this year.
Do you watch the draw, or do you just wait for Jason to text you?
No, I watch the draw. Yeah, we usually at the venue. You usually get there about 4:30, maybe 5, and you're obviously preparing just in between before the draw. So yeah, I always watch it. I think that's the fun aspect about it. And yeah, it's nice seeing all the other draws, the other people. They get tough draws. I kind of like watching it.
Look, some nice comments have come your way recently from current players and ex-players. The way you carried yourself as world number 1, as your year as world champion, people are putting up there as one of the greatest years as a world champion. Not on the hockey, because obviously you're a world-class player, but the stuff you did off the hockey and the way you carried yourself. Those words must be nice when you hear them from established legends of the sport.
Yeah, they are. When people that you look up to, or you've looked up to through your younger years, say nice things about you, obviously it gives you a nice feeling, and it makes you appreciate the person you are. Obviously, one thing that was never going to happen to me, I was never going to change. With all the success, I think I'm proud of the way that I've stuck to being the same person as I was before I was winning all these titles. And I kind of made sure that was always going to be the case. I'm obviously enjoying a lot of success recently, but I'm also level-headed to understand that it could all be taken away from me at any moment. We've seen people throughout the years that have been on top of their game, and all of a sudden they fall off and they're not there anymore. So I just appreciate what I've got right now, and I'm just working hard to make sure I stay at the top and keep challenging for all these major tournaments. But it's really nice when top players say lovely things about you.
Well, it's a pleasure catching up with you here in Chester, mate. Look forward to a few days off, and we'll see you in Dublin.
Thank you. I'll see you there, mate. Thank you.